Yes, indeed, Arabile, as you can just see, I'm not in shot at the moment, but you'll just see this is Park Station, one of the busiest stations in the country, and you'll see that there's a lot of movement there on the floor with people waiting to get buses, some also taking those long distance trains, the various bus service providers here just, ready to transport people to their various destinations, and also, just being around here, Park Station is obviously that hub of transportation, people with their bags, their suitcases, ready to go home as well. And also, you'll just remember that a lot of workplaces are closing. A lot of people will be finishing or closing off work for the festive season today. But definitely the bigger exodus we will be seeing of people leaving Johannesburg should be by next week Friday. But we've also spoken, we are here with Prasa as well, just to tell us, we do know that they also run those long distance train lines as well, and they also have their Autopex company, which is responsible for city to city, as well as Translux also having the long distance services and the buses and the trains as well. So I'm just going to speak to Nana Zimane, and she's just going to tell us a little bit about what challenges are they expecting. She also just was saying that there were issues along that Limpopo line where they have the long distance trains. Nana, thank you so much for speaking to us. Can you just please tell us, you were telling us that as early as Wednesday your trains were full, you were transporting people to the destinations. Just tell us about that, please.
Yes, at this time of the year, of course, we do anticipate a high number of people, to a high turnout, as you can see. So both the long distance services as well as our buses are fully subscribed. But we've had issues in terms of the rains, which were obviously not anticipated on the Musina line to the border, which assists a lot of our guests coming into the country and moving out. So that line specifically is part of Transnet's line. So we've already spoken to them to upgrade the line and to fix it. But what it actually means is that that is the only line that we are not able to run at this stage because the tracks have been washed away by heavy rains.
And had you had people already booked that line, and what happened there to reimburse them? Are you going to put them on the buses? What were the contingency plans that you put into place?
So on all of our travelers on the long distance, on the Shosholoza, we take down all of their details. The customer services team would have those details. They would get informed immediately of what's happening. Alternative arrangements are being made, but we're talking to them directly because the number is contained, and because it's a long distance trip, you want to make sure that you are aware of who's traveling, you have their details, the next of kin. So that work is happening. Of course, it couldn't be anticipated, but all of the other services to Cape Town, to East London, they continued as planned. And of course, the trains are subscribed going down. What we also want to encourage people to do is to book the return legs. What we normally see is that people book going down, but when they come back again, the trains are full. So we want to encourage people to actually set their dates on time and book the return leg as they went down.
And with your bus services, your Translux, your city to city, what are you seeing there? Which ones would you say are your busiest lines, in terms of the cities that people prefer to go to?
South Africans come from all over when they come to Johannesburg. So all our bus services, just as you see with our train services, are quite oversubscribed. The coastal areas, of course, you see the convergence of people coming into the city, students as well as people who are employed. So it's that kind of a mix. Our buses are also running. We already have security as well looking after those services. But of course, at this time of the year, the warnings are the same. Look after your belongings, most importantly your children, which are your most important asset, but also report any suspicious behavior that you see. I think you did see earlier on when you were taking shots that the rapist police are available. They're walking around in the vicinity. Those are some of the people that you need to report whatever you're seeing happening. But as you can see, it's business as usual, not just for our own buses, which is Autopex and Translux, but for all of the other service providers, even as far as Harare. Those people are being assisted. There's porters on the ground, so the work is happening.
Thank you so much, Nana. And as you've just heard there, Arabile, we did speak to Nana. Zimane from Prasa, and just telling us a little bit about, you know, the situation on the ground, but also just most importantly that Musina, that Polokwane Musina line, having said that the rail there has been washed out, they've had to then cease with that line, but definitely all the other lines, your Port Elizabeth, your East London, your Cape Town, your Durban, the trains going in that direction are working, and saying that they're getting the huge numbers, they're seeing subscriptions, as well as the buses as well. You know, a lot of people also, the buses are quite popular, your coastal areas, and as well as people just really wanting to go home this festive season. But we will obviously be here and we'll be bringing you more. We will be going into the wondrous taxi rank, which we know is the long distance taxi rank, where you know, as far as Musina, your Swaziland, it's actually even got the borders, your Maputo. It's also the taxis, they also go as far as they. We'll also just be talking to them, you know, just to find out what is it that they're doing. You know, we did hear yesterday at the festive season road safety launch in Harrismith with Minister Mabulula. There was the CEO of Santago just assuring South Africans, as well as the Department of Transport, saying that none of their drivers, none of their drivers will be breaking the law. That they're going to ensure that their taxis or their vehicles on the road are roadworthy, as well as they meet the standard, and also just assuring people that nobody that will be a taxi driver this festive season will be breaking the law. So certainly we will be going into the wondrous taxi rank and just bringing you more there and finding out how our people are there. Thank you, and it's back to you.
Mahlako Komane, thank you so much for that. Johannesburg CBD there, of course, that's